G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm David, and today we've got this little Melaleuca irbyana on the bench today. This Melaleuca was put together as part of a Literati challenge by Tony's Bonsai. Unfortunately Tony's no longer with us, but I'm going to keep this little tree on just as memory to him, I suppose. And it's a cool little tree. This is my favourite out of the ones that I put together. It's all starting to come in new spring growth, so it's going to be a good time to get this organic potting mix off it. I've got this cool little pot. I'm hoping I can get it down into that little pot straight up and into some inorganic mix. I'm going to take the wire off it, see if it's set into position or not. Maybe it needs rewiring, maybe it doesn't, not sure yet. The foliage we're going to leave alone. It can just grow until later in spring when it needs to be kept under control, I suppose. But first I'm going to get the pot ready. Always remember to get your pot ready before you take the dirt off the roots of the tree. Right, I might unwire it first. I'll take the wire off and we'll just see how it's looking. Because the wire has been on for a little while, so there's a fair chance that it is starting to bite in places, and something we don't want. Even if it hasn't fully set, it might just mean redoing the wire. Well, it looks like it's actually set pretty good. So we could choose to leave that as it is, or we can rewire it and tighten up the shape a little bit more movement into it perhaps. But first I think we'll get it out of the pot. We'll get some of this dirt off. Again, this mix is quite wet by the look of it, which is the problem I have with this organic mix. It's either super wet or hydrophobic and just super dry. There's no end of trouble with it. Quite bulbous base. I don't know if we really want to expose that. Probably not. There's a considerable taproot though, which obviously will have to come off to get that in that pot. So how far back can we take that? How game are we? This is a Melaleuca, so it should regrow without too many dramas. I've found Melaleucas and callistemons to be probably the most resilient when it comes to taking roots off. A lot of them you can just about chop all the roots off and they'll still find a way to survive. Not that I would advocate doing that, of course. Always looks drastic though, very, very drastic. don't know that I'm game enough to go any further than that. It's a tiny bit of a knob on the end I can probably get rid of. Alright, that will settle into that pot far enough to look okay. Now, where would you like to position it? Shake what you got, get a lot and work it all night. Sting like a bee. I think I would like it somewhere there in the pot and develop the curvature a bit more. So we'll get some soil mix in it. Not going to need a real lot of pushing in to get it in amongst the roots because there's bugger all roots, but do the best we can. Probably should have this up on up on the turntable for you. It's quite a flexible tree, this one still. We don't want anything too dramatic, I don't think, in this tree. We're going to keep it fairly graceful. It'll go with that slender trunk. I know there are better ways of doing this than this. This needs to hold it a little bit. To me, it's leaning too far to the back now. Sort of needs to just come over a little to the front. If we could use that. It's probably not too bad like that. That'll be the front of your tree. Got a lot of ramification work to go up on top. But we're not going to do any of that today. We're just going to let him go. I think probably a different pot would suit him. Maybe a round pot, small round pot. And maybe even something a little smaller than that, but obviously this will do for now. Alright, that'll do. We'll get some fertiliser on him, give him a good water. Keep him out of the cold and the sun for a couple of days, let him settle in. And then back out on the bench, and hopefully in month and a half, you should have him back in here and we'll have a whole heap of new foliage to work on the top. And and see how we go with that styling. Should I take that? Leave it there. Leave him alone. Alright, thanks for watching and we'll see you on the next one.